All right, what's good, lookers, insane gamers alike? Your boy Yo Soy, ACWeezy, the man, goddamn. No Look Podcast is back. See, we got a lot of stuff going on, but something I want to touch on first. Tyler and I decided we were gonna try a little TikTok trend, right? The 82 and 0 challenge, where there's a filter on Instagram, and you click it. It's like a filter, right? It puts the thing above your head, and it goes to a random NBA team. And so you choose a player from each team to insert in a lineup, and you're supposed to go by position, but Tyler necessarily didn't want to follow
That's
the
me,
rules. I think he
goddamn.
had LeBron at point guard, then he had Steph and Clay playing power forward and small forward. I don't know. I mean, what do you think,
Uh,
T?
um, I probably fudged up the trend a little bit, but I thought it was you pick the best player from that team by position. So like you have, say you get, the Sixers like I got. I picked Embiid that fills my center position, and that was my second pick. So I thought that was how it goes, not by
You put LeBron at point
position.
guard.
I did say LeBron at point guard. I know I said that, but LeBron is a versatile player. You can put him at point guard or small forward.
So I got a question for you on top of that. How many
Yes.
different times did you click through and cycle like
So I'll be honest with you. That was my all of those were my first time besides the first one. So Steph Curry, when I got him, that was actually my second take because I messed it up because I didn't save it properly. So actually, I would have had Jason Tatum rather than Steph Curry because I got the Celtics.
all right.
So
We're also not going to talk about how he landed on Warriors twice and he didn't redo that, but that's neither here nor there.
I I'm not gonna take the Splash Brothers.
All right. Well, regardless,
Also,
I
shout
think.
out Black Deku02 on TikTok saying I had a good ass team.
Uh,
Also, I'm winning in likes, so obviously I'm doing
well,
something
I was
right.
just gonna say, regardless of how the rules worked out, Tyler clearly had the better team. In hindsight, I definitely would have gone back and picked Luca over Kristaps, and I would have said, "Hey, Kawhi, you're playing center for this team. We're going small ball." But oh well, we're here
Yeah,
now.
it is what it is. I'm just glad I didn't have to draft anybody from the Bucks. I was already upset about the Sixers. I had to go with Embiid, but I would have also been upset with the Knicks too as well because I don't know who I would have picked on the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go Randall, I guess, by your theory. If you're just picking the best player. I got screwed. I think I had the worst team with the Rockets. I went with.
The Rockets. What about the Cavs, dude?
Yeah. Who'd you wait? You had them. Who'd you pick?
No, you had the Cavs. You had Kevin Porter Jr.
No, he's on the Rockets. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
that's right. But you had the Cavs too, right?
No,
Oh,
I
so you had the
had
Cavs.
I had Grizzlies, Trailblazers, and then I would have picked Dame, but then I was going by the position, so I picked CJ for shooting guard, and
Which isn't
then
a bad pick.
no, it's not terrible, but
Any given night, CJ McCollum can score more points than Damian Lillard.
it's a bold statement right there, honey. But
It's really not. Look at the stats. CJ McCollum is very close in comparison in points.
like average, because I don't think so.
Yes,
I don't think so.
I think so. Look it up.
Career wise, we're saying.
Oh my god, I'm just saying this past season.
Oh, this past
Perhaps
season.
career-wise, not so much. Yes, but look at the season stats.
All right,
Dame
let's see.
Lillard probably averages 28. CJ McCollum probably averages 25.
I mean, that's still a decent split, but let's
That's
see.
3 points. That's one shot.
Roster. Uh,
I also guarantee Dame Lillard shoots more shots.
Dame regular season. He had 28.
Said that. What was his field goal percentage?
Oh my God, gotta go back. This
All right,
guy's
never
making
mind. I
me
thought it
do all
was
the
right
work.
there.
45%. Very
Very
good.
good.
Very
That's
good.
that's that's very good. Wow.
CJ was 23. shooting
Okay, 5 points.
45% as well. That's a pretty decent swing,
I,
though.
you're right. I mean, but I also feel like Dame Lillard probably shoots a more threes and shots in general. I mean, speaking of the Trailblazers, they did get Chauncey Billups. Did you see that?
Yeah, they just signed him for the head coach position, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
so what he's on the Clippers right now as the assistant coach.
I think I thought it was. I don't know. Look it up. I
We
know
should
Jason
come a little
Kidd
bit more
was an assistant
prepared, but
coach. I thought Jason Kidd was the assistant coach for the Clippers, not Chauncey.
of course
I know
Google just
that.
says he's the head coach for the Clippers, or the Trailblazers. Yeah, assistant coach for this past season on the Clippers. I mean, that's Tyler. I'm all for having ex NBA guys because I feel like they know the game pretty well. But having 1 year as an assistant head coach to then jump into a head coach role on a team that's clearly in win now mode, right? I think what next year is, or no, Dame is a free agent this year. So do you think he had any kind of say in this hiring process to try to
I
entice
think
them to
so. I
stay?
mean, obviously, the best player on the team's going to have a input on who the coach should be. Um, I think everybody was kind of like pointing at Chauncey Billups to even have a higher position than a head coach at one point. They were considering him for a special advisor position or a GM position at one point. I remember hearing, and I mean, if Tyronn Lue can do it, I feel like Chauncey Billups, a great mind, great point guard in the NBA. I feel like he could, potentially get the most out of this Trailblazers team. I think it's great for him. I don't. I wish there was more ties to it in terms of like him playing there or something like that. But I think it's going to be cool seeing one of a. He's a great point guard, I would say, not one of the best, but a great point guard coaching one of the best point guards in the NBA right now. I think they'll have like that run and gun kind of style. Uh, Chauncey Billups, obviously, a great 3-point shooter and a high volume shooter when he was at Colorado. So I think it's interesting. I think it's more sexy than Terry Stotts.
Well, that's to say the least. Um, what was I gonna say? We were talking about Chauncey. Oh, do you think Chauncey Billups is a Hall of Famer though?
Yes. I think if he didn't win the NBA titles, then he wouldn't have been. But I think those NBA titles solidified him as one of the best.
Well, he only
He's a
won
clutch
one,
player.
but he did win the NBA Finals MVP. He's a five-time All-Star, which
Right.
Tyler. I mean, what's the cusp? I mean, it might be right at that five number because if you're looking at majority of the people in the Hall of Fame, they're like, majority of them have like 10. I feel like.
I'm gonna go out on the limb and say something you might disagree with, but I feel like if you win one NBA Finals MVP, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I like that's you go out there and you win the whole a series. It's not just one game. It's not a fluke. It's not like when the Bucks linebacker who intercept or the cornerback intercepted 3 balls off Rich Gannon because he knew where the play was going, winning MVP back in that Super Bowl. I'm saying like this was a set series of 7. I think it was against the Lakers, right? Or was it against the Spurs?
Um,
I think it was the Lakers.
I
It was right before Shaq and Kobe went their separate ways. I just think you win an NBA Finals MVP, you're doing something right. You're one of the greats.
Lakers, yeah.
It's not, yeah, and I mean, I would give him an MVP nod for sure,
So
or a Hall of Fame nod.
as we always do, Tyler and I, we like to compare things to football. So with that being said, you just mentioned an NBA Finals winner and MVP should get an automatic bid to the Hall of Fame. Does that mean
Right.
Julian Edelman gets an automatic bid to the Hall of Fame because he was a Super Bowl winner and MVP?
Well, like I said, it's not one game, it's a set series. There's a difference between it. You could have one good game, but to pull together at least 4 to string a winning series together. That take especially against Kobe and Shaq and Robert Horry, Derek Fisher. I mean, those Laker teams were no jokes. I would probably have to say he's easily a Hall of Famer.
All right, agree to disagree. I'm not sure he has the resume for it. Quick response to a message in the chat. What do you guys think about the NHL Stanley Cup? Lightning or
Oh,
the
baby.
the Habs? I guess the Canadians are called the Habs. I know what Tyler's gonna say. For me, I'm just looking at the Canadians. They're only 3 games above 500. Clearly the underdog, but they beat a good Las Vegas team. Uh, Lightning went to 7 games against the Islanders. I guess Tyler, I'll go out on a limb just to have some disparity. Like I said, I know which way you're gonna lean. I'll root for the underdogs with the Canadians here. They've been on a pretty good run.
I mean, yeah, it's a great run, but I don't think they can lace up the same skates as the Lightning. The Lightning are just playing so much better offensively. And besides game one was a pretty rough game. I think there was over 121 hits, but other than that, it's been the Lightning's series. They've just been dominating it. I'm actually going to the game tomorrow at Amalie for a watch party, so super excited about that. They'll be
Nice.
playing the game on the big screen. No, it's been really fun watching the Lightning. This is literally the only time of the year that I actually get into hockey is playoff time. So the Lightning are just showing why they're the best team in the league. Although I do feel like Colorado would have had the best chance of beating them.
Yeah. No, everyone was kind of saying Colorado was the juggernaut team, the heavy favorites. Obviously, they lost to the Golden Knights. So the Lightning, they're looking to become the first back-to-back champs since the Penguins said the kid did it back in 15-16. Tyler, I just got to know what's the attraction down in Tampa Bay? Like, is there a lot of Tampa Bay Lightning fans? Are they more
Oh my God,
Bucks
yeah.
fans or
No.
no?
I would say there's probably more Lightning fans than there are Bucks fans. And the only reason I say that is because I feel like not everybody is a fan of hockey, so it's easy to just like pick up a team where for football it's like you're kind of born into who you like. Essentially, I mean, you're a Packers fan because of your dad, I'm a Raiders fan because of my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um where here it's like, oh, it's hockey, like we like the home team. But I was at Lid's locker room last week getting a jersey, and literally the whole entire store was just chock full of people just buying Lightning shit. It's just they're crazy for the Lightning down here, and I mean they're about to have the Bucks win it, the Lightning win it, and now the Rays are coming out and they're balling with whatever his name Wandy or something. They're winning all these games and probably going to go back to the World Series. They're thinking.
Where would you rank the status of all three of those Tampa Bay teams, the Bucks, the Lightning, and the Rays? Like, what do you think is the local favorite, or like what do you see
Rays
most?
are definitely last for sure. I would say
Depends what
it
season it
has
is.
for real. I think it has to go Lightning, Bucks, Rays, and the only reason I say that is just because of how consistent the Lightning are at winning. Like they've been to numerous finals ever since I moved here 6 years ago. Where the Bucks, I mean, they've only been good as of recent. Really, I mean, they've had some decent seasons, but for the Lightning, it's just like they're juggernauts. They're like the Patriots of the NFL when Brady was on the team. So
Yeah. Okay. Um. So now we're gonna shift gears back to the NBA, Tyler. I know we had a little segment planned for a little late season award show. Do we want to get into that, and then maybe we can
yeah,
fill the rest of the time with our playoff talk? I'll let you kick it off.
yes. So I had this brilliant idea as of like I don't know. I think we came up with this. It looks like 2 months, almost 2 months ago,
Is it
month and a
that
half
long?
ago.
Damn.
Yeah, May 26th. I mean,
We've let it
we came up
saturate a
with
little
that.
bit.
Yeah, we let it sit. So I was thinking they always have these awards for the best players in the NBAs, the best coaches, the best rookies, um, but they don't have awards for people that are the least valuable or the people that play the worst. I just feel like sometimes people need to hear that they suck. Maybe it'll make them better. Maybe they'll try a little bit harder, or maybe they'll just stop playing in the NBA because it's just not it for them. So me and Austin came up with a list of the least valuable player in the NBA this season, worst coach of the year, worst defensive player of the year, and bench warmer of the year, most overpaid player of the year, and most regressed. Where would you like to start? You want to start from regressed up?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll kick that one off. I know I was pretty adamant on the player I wanted to put in that position. Tyler just kind of agreed with me by default. But Montrezl Harrell, going from sixth man of the year, the Los Angeles Lakers. First of all, he flip flops from the LA teams. I guess he can't choose which locker room he likes better at Staples Center. But I mean, they bring him in to kind of be that probably sixth man off the bench, the enforcer. He was scoring a lot of points in the paint, and I feel like he just kind of became a ghost, right? He played some decent regular season minutes, but as soon as Andre Drummond came to town, this guy was playing like sub double digit minutes. He was having zero production. I mean, in that playoff series against the Suns where they lost, by the way, you know, AD was hurt, LeBron was banged up. They really needed a guy to come in and step up, and he just didn't even answer the call. So, from my perspective, going from one of the most coveted players in the NBA, like I mentioned, winning that six man award, to just not being able to help his team out in any way, shape, or form, that was my number one pick as the most regressed player.
You got to feel like they added too many players at one position, just thinking that the league is such a small lineup league where they go small often. Not many times are you using a true center with a true power forward. Sometimes you're inputting a small forward. I just think this was a terrible position for him with the Lakers. He could have played for just about any other team and probably saw double the amount of minutes. But he just wanted to play with LeBron, I feel like, and wrong place at the wrong time. So
He went ring chasing and ended up in a first round bump in the playoffs.
yeah, there's probably nothing worse than that.
Just like thinking you had a
I mean,
lock and
honestly,
then
I would rather finish last in the NBA than be like, oh, we made the playoffs. Oh, but wait, they also only made the play-in games. They almost lost. Didn't even make the playoffs in that case. But neither here nor there. Most overpaid players next. I had Kevin Love
I
at
thought he was going
31
Ben
points.
Simmons.
I mean, I would go Ben Simmons, but I actually did some statistical research during this time. I can't do so much Ben Simmons bashing. The guy's not responding to me. If I could only, get blocked by him in the DM so I can show you or something like that. But Kevin Love, most overpaid player. Here's why: $31.2 million, actively trying to leave and turn the ball over on purpose while playing. Only averaged 12 points and 7 rebounds this year. Kind of pathetic. There was one game where he notably threw the ball at his teammate without looking. It was kind of a forced turnover on purpose. Does You can tell the guy just doesn't want to play for Cleveland, although there are some people that say he does. I think he needs to get out of Cleveland and perhaps go home. I think Portland is probably the best place for him, being close to family, playing with Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum, and now Coach Chauncey Billups. I think be the best answer for him.
Now that you say that, it sounds like a good fit. Is he from? So he's from Portland or Oregon?
He's from Oregon,
Okay.
but
I would have assumed playing for
Portland
UCLA,
wasn't.
he was from California. But yeah, I mean, super weird situation you got going on in Cleveland with Kevin Love. He sticks around what 2, 3 years. I mean, no longer than that.
Maybe even longer. Five?
Five. When did no 2017,
2016?
16? Yeah, so close to 5 years after LeBron left. I don't know. Maybe he was trying
Ivy
to be the
League.
guy. Maybe they have superior strip clubs in Cleveland. I'm not sure what the allure is there, but yeah, Kevin Love definitely overpaid to say the least.
I don't know if they have better strip clubs in Cleveland, though. I mean, Portland, they were having drive-through strip clubs at the pandemic when that was going on.
You
I'm pretty sure
imagine
I read
that?
an article.
Like, what do you do? Is it like one of those like car washes? You just pull up and you just got cheeks clapping on the windshield. I don't know.
You got an old guy pulling up with his big ass sunglasses, rolls down his window and goes, "Hello, ladies."
Got to get
Starts
like
throwing dollar bills.
you got to get like a James Bond car, but instead of clicking a button and a gun comes out, it just like makes it rain with money. Just driving
You
through.
know, that would be the best way to fake like you're rich. Like just go rent like an exotic car, like pull up in a Lamborghini rental for the day, and then just like that's we're good. Bench warmer,
He was about to
bench
take us
warmer of the
somewhere.
year. Bench warmer of the year is the next one. This one's actually my favorite one right here. I'll tell you why. Udonis Haslem of the Miami Heat wins this one. It was actually big around the time when this idea came out. He only played 3 minutes, Austin, on the court before being ejected for almost throwing fists at Dwight Howard. So this man was literally gets subbed in at the almost the last game of the season, sees Dwight Howard in his pineapple head having ass, and tries to throw fists at him at midcourt, gets ejected. Only 3 minutes this year. But, I mean, this award, you could swing it either way. It could be bad, it could be good. I feel like Udonis Haslem, nothing left to lose, done it all in the NBA, won championships. I don't think he's been to an All-Star game. But to go out on the court for 3 minutes and try and be the bruiser of the Miami Heat. I mean,
I feel
he
like
wins bench warmer of the year. There's your last award,
I
Udonis.
don't hate the pick, but let me just kind of come to his defense for a little bit. I feel like there was type of the dynamic there. Obviously, the Heat go to the NBA Finals in the bubble, right? He's thinking, all
Right.
right, we got a short turnaround. I didn't really have my farewell tour. Let me try to go ring chasing. If we can make the finals last year, why not do it again? We got a pretty good chance. So I feel like he kind of just, probably took a pay cut, wrote it out this season, just wanted to be a part of that. Although he already won at least one.
He's won. So he
Multiple.
won
Yeah,
one in
wait, what am I
'06
saying?
with
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade, yeah, and then he won
He
the
won
the two with
two.
LeBron, Wade, and
Yeah, so what
Bosh.
the
So
fuck are you
he's
doing,
won
Udonis
3.
Haslam? Okay, I retract all those statements I just said. Udonis Haslam, you should have retired, Bubs. You're playing 0 minutes. You got more fights than fucking points you had scored. Good decision, Tyler. My guy Youngberg,
Thank you.
aka Chuck, aka Connor, cough twice if you need a claw. Um, I'm good right now. I doubled up when I came up, but I'll make a stop in between the stream to double down again. Thank you though, Chuck. I appreciate you, Chuck. Okay, carry on.
All right. Next is worst defensive player of the year. This isn't the plus minus rating system that Austin so loves, but it's the defensive rating
It's my
system.
favorite stat. Anytime Tyler tries to throw something at me, talking PJ Tucker's, oh, he went 0 for 6. I was like, well, Tyler, he was +2. That's got to be good. He's in the green, right? I don't even know what it
Well, you're
means
gonna
exactly, but
you're gonna love our least valuable player of the year then, but Harrison Barnes wins worst defensive player of the year with a league worst 119.2 defensive rating. Now I don't understand what the defensive rating means. Maybe it's like
that's a stat
total
you found
points from the
online. A defensive
yes,
rating.
yeah, maybe it's like
Huh?
you are 119% the worst defensive player in the league, or like they scored this many points versus how many points he scored, which I could kind of see that on an average. But this one I felt kind of bad about this one just because Harrison Barnes is the guy that guards like all the best small forwards in the NBA. So, and he plays in the West. Kind of tough. Has to face Kawhi 4 times a year, LeBron 4 times a year. So he's always facing the tougher guys, but still, you went to UNC, you were a number 1 draft pick or close to a number 1 draft pick. You were the number 1 high school recruit out of high school. Like, you got to be better than that.
I mean, didn't the Mavs pay him like a ridiculous amount of money for that
I think it
contract?
was 140, 6 years.
And then he just went there and completely shit the bed. Is he still on the Mavs?
No, he is on the Kings right now.
Yeah, goes to show how much I pay attention to Harrison Barnes and how much of an impact he's having on the NBA.
Yeah. Well, worst defensive player of the year. Worst coach of the year. I have
Playing
Houston
defense like
Rockets.
Mark at LA Fitness the other day. Ah, ha ha.
Wow, nice. Houston Rockets, Steven Silas got hired as Houston coach after I think Rick Alderman or whoever was there. Ran James Harden out of Houston, went to Brooklyn. I think that was long overdue. Had the worst record in the league. John Wall probably not coming back. Owns I they owned the second draft pick this year. Probably gonna botch it. So for that, obviously worst record. Also worst coach of the year.
Okay, Connor's
Pretty
in the
unanimous, I would say.
Connor's in the chat saying Lord Lloyd Pierce worst coach. What has Nate McMillan done after? I mean, I don't.
That's true. I mean, that's
It's
a good one. I did make this list, Connor, May 26th. So
um. Well, I mean,
I
the Rockets clearly
I
had the worst record, right? So it's
right.
really that's kind of a layup, easy option to say.
I kind of like that one from Connor though because Lloyd Pierce was the coach of the Hawks. Nate McMillan takes over. Now the Hawks are on the verge of going to the NBA Finals if they win this series against the Bucks. I mean, Nate McMillan, he's really showing and pulling a lot of the potential from all the young stars that Atlanta has. But we'll probably talk about that later because I
Hmm.
have a lot to talk about on the Hawks.
Oh boy, what do we got? We got the least valuable player left.
Yes, last but not least, or actually they are least valuable player of the
Last
year.
and least.
Uh, last and least. With a all right, you ready, Austin? With a
Mm-hmm.
plus minus rating of negative 621 played in 65 games. We have Theo Maledon of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah,
I don't.
I mean that
I think the next closest was like negative 500. So
definitely know who that guy is. I mean, jeez, what do you don't probably don't have his stats. Would you say his name was again? Theo
Theo Theo Maledon, M-A like Maildon.
almost looks like a goddamn megalodon. Oh shit. Let's see. So he played 65 games, which how many did they play
Right.
this season? 68.
That's almost a full season, I would
He
say.
started 49, played 27 minutes a game, uh averaged 10 points, averaged 2 turnovers. I'm not sure what the average is, but that seems like it's very high.
That's very high. Yes.
Uh
Usually,
field
like
goal
a point guard
percentage
averages like point
.36.
five.
Yeah, again, my favorite stat that I don't even know what it means, the plus minus, but Tyler's saying he was minus 600. That just seems completely egregious, completely outrageous. Theo Megalodon, the Maladon, you won the least valuable player this year, coined by the No Look podcast. So congrats.
So, question for you, Austin: if you were a GM for a team, would you try and put together the team of the best plus minus rated players in the NBA,
Well, going
just
back
solely based on their plus minus?
Well, I think, going back, I love my formulas. Your boy Yo Soy, he's got his NFL formulas with the turnovers and whatnot. I think if you're getting a team that's, you know, uh, I can't think of the word. I had a nice word I was about to say, but constructed of the highest plus minus averages, I feel like you're going to have a solid squad. Much like the opposite of Tyler's squad down in Orlando that he coined last week, of where he's just going to ship off all the scrubs. I think if I had a team, um, just like I said, constructed of the highest plus minuses, they'd be right there. They'd be competing for championships, T.
All right, you want to hear the? I'll give you 10 of the top plus minuses.
Okay.
All right, so we'll start number one, Rudy Gobert. Number two, Mike Conley. Number three, Royce O'Neal. Number four, Joe Ingles. So top four are from Utah.
Wow. That's
Five
impressive.
five is yeah, five is Kawhi. Six is Paul George. Seven is Bohan Bogdanovich, the one from Utah.
No relation to
What
the
it
one from Atlanta.
2, 4, 6, 7. Okay. 8 is Giannis. Uh, 9 is Joel Embiid, and 10 is Nikola Jokic. I think you'd have a bomb squad right there.
That's easily the best team in the NBA. I mean, we're talking about the MVP, the MVP runner-up, a two-time MVP. I mean, four guys from the best record team in the NBA this season. I mean, Tyler, thank you for that because you clearly just enforced my opinion.
I'd hate to break it to you, but your plus minus sucks. Ben Simmons is top 20. He's still being shipped off to Orlando.
Sure. When Ben Simmons goes somewhere next year, wins an NBA title, then we'll be talking.
If Ben Simmons wins an NBA title next year, I will tattoo whatever you want on my ass.
Oh shit! I want Ben Simmons jersey and then like a Kardashian logo right on the other cheek.
You can only have one. At least come
Okay.
up with something good. Like at least a Ben Simmons turd like flying out my ass onto my ass cheek or something.
Oh my god, we're getting pretty graphic here. I mean, I'm thinking more of like, you get the M on one side, the M on the other, and then spread your cheeks apart. Says
Mom.
mom. No, we'll figure something out. You heard it here
I just
first,
wanna
chat. Tyler's getting
I just wanna like a turd crater flying across my ass cheek with Ben Simmons' face on it.
shooting like he's shooting a turd, lefty
My
from the
my
corner.
kid walks in the future. He's like, "Dad, what's on your butt cheek?" It was a bad year back in 2022.
Goddamn Ben Simmons. First he didn't block me, then he won a fucking NBA title. Now I had his tattoo on my ass cheek. God damn it. All right, I think that was pretty good choices all around for the awards.
I think the committee did a great job as they always do.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back next year, better and stronger than ever. Hopefully.
We'll get a little bit more updated list. Like Tyler said, we kind of constructed this a few months ago, let it saturate. We wanted to wait for an
We'll
episode where
do
there
we
maybe is
we
not
could do the
as much going
playoffs.
on. What's that?
We could do the playoffs, like the least valuable player of the playoffs.
Julius Randle. All right, moving on to.
Ben Simmons has to be up there. PJ Tucker also has to be
Oh
up
yeah.
there.
Well, jeez, we've talked enough about PJ Tucker for the past few weeks. I mean, I've heard his name more times than I hear Santa Claus in December.
Wow, that's a lot. Oh, also, Austin, happy Bobby Bonilla Day. I forgot to mention.
I don't know if I want to endorse that. Who's Bobby Benias?
Bobby Bonilla signed with the Mets back in the 90s, a contract that now spans all the way up until 2035. Dude he gets paid $1.2 million every year from that contract that got signed back in I think it was 2001 all the way to 2035 until it's up. The agent on that deal has to be the world's smartest person ever to construct a contract that lucrative over that amount of time. I mean, the guy, they knew he was going to be retired by that time. Great 401k plan, I would say.
I was gonna say that's
Probably
retirement right there.
invested some of that into Dogecoin, doubled it
Oh
at one
boy.
point. Hopefully, maybe AMC, maybe GameStop, I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. The contract's ridiculous. If you don't know it, look it up. It's just every
Well,
July 1st they give 1.2 mil.
I'm gonna have to have a stern talking to with my boss because he did not observe Bobby Bonilla's Day as a national holiday, and I was in there grinding today. So I'm gonna have a nice morning chat with him tomorrow. So Tyler, we talked awards of the least valuable players and the most regressed, the worst coach. Now let's get into some more positive and impactful players that's going on in this NBA playoffs. I think we'll start with, if you have no qualms about it, the first team to punch their ticket to the NBA Finals, the Phoenix Suns. Obviously played last night. I mean, there's a lot
I
to
say
take.
called it.
Well, I mean, I think we were all leaning Suns, but
I
Um,
mean, you did say numerous times that the Clippers were the team to beat technically out of the
no,
Western
I said
Conference.
they had the best chance with a healthy Kawhi to dethrone the Nets, which none of that obviously happened. The Nets lose. Kawhi gets hurt. It's a complete shit show. I mean, the Suns are there, and now we got Trey Young hurt, Giannis hurt. They might. I mean, Suns and four might happen in the NBA Finals, and that would be completely insane. But let's talk about this past series. I was gonna bring up a point, Tyler. I was rooting for the Suns, Chris Paul, Booker. I wanted them to win and advance to the finals, but I almost wanted them to lose so I could have this point tonight of they were 2-0 when Chris Paul was out. Then they go 1-2 when he comes back. But I don't know if he was like reading my mind, went full like telepathic mode on me. He came out, he scored a game high 41 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. I mean, you can tell this guy definitely wanted to make it to the finals after so many years of coming up short. What's your biggest takeaway from this series?
I mean, obviously it's Chris Paul. He's probably the make or break factor for the Suns. I even think Chris Paul over Devin Booker personally. Chris
Oh,
Paul just makes a huge impact on the. Let me explain to you why.
yeah, no,
Chris
I
Paul
was
makes
yeah.
a a huge impact on the court. 41 points last night. Gets the ball into the right player's hands. And I think the thing that people don't understand that Chris Paul does is he gets into the minds of other players on the opposite team. He did it to Pat Beverly last night. He did it to DeMarcus Cousins last night. He's done it throughout the whole entire series, throughout the whole entire playoffs as well. The guy is so savvy that he knows when the bonus is about to come up, so he tries to attract fouls so he can get to the free throw line. So just small, minute stuff like that. Just watching him do that, shape shift shots over. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Shape
Shape
shift
shift
shots
shots.
over taller defenders. I mean, the guy is just a magician. Um, this series alone just stamps his Hall of Fame tenured career even more. And it's really good to see that the best point guard probably of all time finally make it to the NBA Finals.
Yes, I concur. Point guard is going to the NBA Finals. Tyler, he did have the game high points, but guess who had the game high plus minus? Devin Booker with 23. Chris Paul coming in second with plus 22. I just had to throw that in there. The whole Clippers starting lineup was in the negative. Negative 15 for Morris, negative 16 Beverly. Let's talk about that. Pat Beverly, he's kind of gotten away with being that guy as like getting under people's skin, being the enforcer, you know, being the fly, if you will, buzzing around.
I mean, what did
But
I say? He belongs in Orlando.
right, but I
He's a
it,
menace.
you and I are huge competitors, right? Back in high school, if we're
Right.
playing charity dodgeball tournament or you know some volleyball, what is it like? What am I thinking of? Like volleyball club.
3-on-3. I mean, there was a
Anyways,
bunch of
we're
different
trying our dicks off.
intramural sports.
But when you hear so much in the NBA about how they're a brotherhood, the stuff that happened last night with Pat Beverly, I mean, that was a clear and blatant attack at Chris Paul. It wasn't even like sometimes you get aggravated with someone, you might push him off, shove him an elbow, and then you breathe on each other's nostrils for a couple seconds until you get broken up by your teammates, and then you try to act like you would have knocked him out. Pat Beverly comes out of nowhere and comes up behind Chris Paul, by the way, doesn't even confront him face to face, shoves him in the back. I mean, you
And
talk
then comes out with he comes out with a tweet saying, "Oh, my bad. The game got to me. My emotions were high." Like such a fucking a sad tweet of apology instead of being a man. And he literally stared at Chris Paul's number 3 jersey for 3 seconds. If you watch the replay, the ref sees it coming when he's
yeah.
walking towards him and tries to break it up like he saw the future, like that's so Raven, and tried to stop Pat Beverly from pushing Chris Paul.
I mean, there's
Pat
a lot.
Beverly's a menace. The guy's a menace.
there's a
He should
line in
not
the
be in the league. He
sand.
should be kicked out of the league. Adam Silver, I said it here first. Pat Beverly should go back to Russia, playing in overseas there in the pro league. He does not belong in the NBA. He looks like a homeless person. He acts like a bum, and he can shoot threes, but he can't even play the game with respect. James Naismith would be disgusted.
Well said. Well put. There's a line in the sand, Tyler, about being passionate and competitive, and Pat Beverly just fucking triple jumped 20 yards past that, and he went way too far. I just wanted to throw that out there. I
What do you
was
think his punishment's going to be?
well. That's the thing because you know there's a big like misconception, kind of swept under the rug type deal when there are physical altercations in sports. But if that happens out on the street, Tyler, that's assault. That's like felony assault, right? Like if you get in a fist fight against someone, you can press charges. But obviously, for whatever reason, you know, it's just they're in sports. It makes a difference. You got like Andre Johnson and what was it, Cortland Finnegan back in the day. He clearly like cold cocked him. Batista was engaged in that baseball fight. It's like if you walk up to the wrong person, like outside a bar and punch him in the face, that's a felony. So for whatever reason, whether it's like stick to the code or something, people don't want to take legal action, but there has to be some kind of legitimate repercussion of doing that because there's no place for that, especially in the NBA. Hockey, they allow fights to a certain extent, and I'd say they're even more classy about it than other players, right? They'll go in there, they'll punch each other in the face for a good 10, 15 seconds, and then they're giving high fives after it, like good show, old chap.
Yeah, but hockey players are sick fucks. They just look to get punched in the face.
I mean, yeah, I guess you see them running around with their teeth missing, but maybe that was a bad comparison. But you get the general
It
idea I'm
wasn't
trying to
bad.
make.
I think Pat Beverly. I think the thing that needs to happen to him is he needs to be suspended for numerous amounts of games, at somewhere in the 10 to 30 game range, just for these actions to show that these actions should not happen. I mean, seeing something like this is just childish. It reminds me of elementary school. Someone that can't hold their emotions together. Even they're down in the series, they're about to lose a game, and all that does is tarnish your reputation. Like Pat Beverly is now going to go down in history as the guy that pushed another guy when his back was turned to the ground. Like you're a loser. You're never going to go anywhere. Teams aren't going to want you regardless of how good of defense you play because of your attitude.
Yeah, I agree with you. We should ship him down to
Fuck Pat
Orlando.
Beverly. Orlando's taking you next year, so enjoy Disney World.
I can't believe I'm going to Disney World. So Tyler, our other series that we have going on, obviously, there's only 3 teams left in the NBA. Suns punched their ticket to the finals. We got a 2-2 series going on between Atlanta and the Milwaukee Bucks. Both their stars are out, which is like, I just remember when I think it was my first game in Green Bay, Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone. So I'm sitting there watching Scott Tolzien run fucking halfback stretches to Cheeseburger Eddie the whole time. They go to the overtime with the Vikings, and then they end up tying. And of course, the tie is like, what do they say? It's like kissing your sister, or your cousin, or something like that. I don't know how to feel. I almost would have rather had a loss. Um, so it's like, if you're a fan of the NBA more so, and the point I'm trying to make, Tyler, how do you get excited for either of these teams? Because it's like, if the Bucks go to the finals, it's like, okay, Giannis, he might be able to carry them, make it a good series against the Suns. If the Hawks win, it's like, holy shit, the Hawks are the real deal. Clear underdogs throughout the whole playoffs. The low seed in every matchup. They dethrone the 76ers, then they dethrone the Bucks. Now you're thinking, well, maybe Ice Tray can make a game, make a series out of this. If both those guys can't go, how do you get excited about the NBA Finals, Tyler? Because I right now I'm like at a loss for words. I don't know how it's gonna be Suns in four.
I mean, I think that Trey Young will be back sooner rather than later. Giannis's injury is a little bit more up in the air because it has to do with his knee, obviously. But I'm gonna say something that you're probably not gonna agree with.
Shocker.
The Atlanta Hawks. I think the Atlanta Hawks are a better team without Trey Young. And I think Trey Young, listen, I think Trey Young is a great player. I think he's an MVP, a superstar. He is the real deal. I
What did
don't
he
think that
say?
I don't think
What?
that Trey Young makes the team worse. I'm just saying I think without him, the ball gets facilitated better, more players touch the ball. The Hawks have the I'm going to tell you this too. The Hawks have the best all-around roster in the NBA too as well. All young players that were first-round picks that play on their team. I mean, you could look at the list. They have Clint Capella, obviously one of the best shot blockers, rebounders in the game. Bohan Bogdanovic finally playing well. I just think this Hawks team plays better without Trey Young. They facilitate the ball around, they score better, they play better defense. I mean, they literally shit on the Bucks without Trey Young. I just think no Trey Young, no problems at the end of the day. Now, the Bucks without Giannis, that's a different story. I think that they could be decent. Chris Middleton, would probably do well. Without him scoring 40 points, probably. I think Giannis has a lot of stupid fouls, makes a lot of stupid offensive plays. But I,
You
I mean, you
talking
have PJ
still?
Tucker on your team, so
You
I was
talking
waiting until you
still?
put them back on.
That is the most outrageous take I've ever heard come out of your lips, and I have heard
I don't
a
think so.
plethora of outrageous takes. Trey
I don't
Young,
think so.
he's arguably the MVP of this playoffs. You're saying you want to give out playoff awards. He's arguably the MVP. I mean, I don't know the
I
exact
agree.
numbers, but I'd put my left pinky toe that he's got the most points per game. I
Listen,
bet for a fact
I
that he
you
has a positive plus minus. He
you were too
literally
busy taking you were too busy taking those headphones off of your fucking blonde hair, Justin Timberlake, to hear me say that they are not a worse team with Trey Young. I just think they are a better team without Trey Young.
that literally means the same thing.
Okay, I'm not
What?
saying if Trey Young's in the game or not, I think the Hawks are still a very dominant team, but the ball moves better without Trey Young in the lineup because it's not going through one player. They move the ball better, they have better offensive possessions, they have more players that score because the ball's not going through just Trey Young. I mean, you see Bohan Bogdanovic finally lighting the stat sheet up the last game, had 6 threes in one half almost. Kevin Herter finally scoring, Lou Will finally scoring. I mean, you're seeing all these different names. Cam Reddish. I mean, DeAndre Hunter's coming back soon. I mean, this team is stacked. You look at the roster, I was shocked. I was like, damn, they have like all these good players. John Collins probably would have been paid a max contract next year. Probably not going to get it because of all the good players that they have. And he's not getting the touches that he needs to get that contract. But it's fine because they're going to go to the NBA Finals.
So you're solely basing this opinion, this take, off the fact that they won one game without him in the lineup? A game that
Yes.
Giannis didn't even play the whole second half because the Bucks were dominating when
I mean,
Giannis.
he played the third quarter.
I mean, part of it. The Bucks were dominating that whole game. I went to the gym and they were up by like 15. And then Giannis goes
I agree
down,
with
and then the whole game plan shifts. The
I
Hawks
agree with
went into
Kendrick.
that knowing that Trey Young wasn't going to be there. They had a game plan in
Right.
place. They executed it well. I'm not denying that.
Mm.
But to say that the Hawks are a better team without Trey Young, who, like I just mentioned, has to be top two at least of the MVP for this playoffs, I just don't know. Like, I don't even know. I'm at a loss for words.
I
I don't know
I
how
honest
to come
I
back from
listen.
that.
I agree with Kendrick Perkins.
Oh,
Giannis is the
well,
Batman.
there's where
Well,
you're wrong. There's where you go wrong.
Giannis is the Robin to Chris Middleton's Batman. If I'm taking the last shot, I want Chris Middleton taking the last shot because I can't trust Giannis. Giannis had 3 air balls last
100%.
game.
What is it? Wait,
This guy,
what is this
Gian,
argument
if
now?
I'm saying that the Bucks without Giannis is probably also decent too because Giannis makes a lot of stupid offensive fouls. He can't shoot free throws. All they have to do is hack a Giannis, and the guy's missing more than half of his free throws. He airballs them. He can't shoot threes. All he can do is drive. So if you play off him and all he's gonna do is drive, you just take the charge. That's how you beat Giannis. Chris Middleton, a more power load scorer. The guy can shoot from anywhere. A very elusive player off the screen. I mean, I just think Bucks don't need Giannis, just like the Hawks don't really need Trae Young because they have the players. Like the Hawks have a lot of players. I was watching the game the other day and I felt like the Hawks, do they really need Trae Young? They're balling out really well without him.
So what Tyler is trying to say is the Milwaukee Bucks don't need a two-time MVP, and
Right.
the Atlanta Hawks don't need the number 9 leading scorer in the NBA this season.
Right.
Yeah, I have no words. I have nothing to say.
That's great.
My brain, like, I think, like, picture like a bike. You know what I'm saying? The bike chain, and I think the chain just hopped off the spokes, and now I'm
It's
just
kind of
like
like when
coasting.
Forrest Gump is it's kind of like when Forrest Gump is running with his little ankle things on and they just start disappearing. They're flying off all the metal pieces.
That's insane. Okay. Well, I
Either
guess
way, I think the Hawks are going to come back, win the game. They're down by 9 at halftime. Going to win the game tonight, finish the
live
series in
look. It's
Atlanta.
77-63 Bucks.
Okay, down by 13.
14, yes.
Was 14. Okay. Down by 14. I still think that they're going to come back. I just think this team is too strong. They'll get hot. No trade, no problems. Although you're right.
Clearly problems. I mean,
I
like
don't want to see
you,
you want me to
you,
go?
you. Go ahead.
I don't want to see the NBA finals without Trae Young, obviously. I'm just saying I like watching the Bucks without him or the Hawks without him.
I mean, the point you just made that a lot more players get involved without Trae Young. Obviously, I mean, the guy accounts for like 50% of their offense, but he's also putting up
Right.
50 points a game. And with that being said, who are these other guys taking shots? Kevin Herter, who he started now. He's playing good basketball. You got Hunter. You got John Collins. I mean, you're talking about Chris Middleton taking the last shot. I want Trae Young taking the last shot for me, and I want him shooting at least 50% of the team's volume. On the other side, without Giannis, they still have Drew Holiday. They still have Chris Middleton, like you said. I feel like they're a lot more equipped. The Bucks are to make a run without their star player than the Hawks. 100,000 million trillion bajillion percent.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is the Hawks are more fun to watch or I think basketball is more fun to watch when you get multiple guys involved. They had 2, 4, 6 players last game that were in double figures. Clint Capella, Lou Williams, Bogdanovich scored over 20, Herter, Gallinari even, and Cam Reddish. I just think when you're getting all these guys involved, they almost went all the way deep. Solomon Hill was the only player that didn't play on the game on Tuesday. He'll be in Orlando next season as well.
Right, he'll get minutes in Orlando.
He might get minutes. He's going to be the 10th guy right next to PJ Tucker. But I just think it's great, to see. I guess that's what I was saying. I don't know. I love Trae Young. I
I
think
don't
he's
know either,
great for
honey.
basketball, but
I don't know
I said
either.
you wouldn't like this take. I said it.
I don't think 99% of America likes that take, other than
It's
maybe
fine.
salty Knicks fans who got upset in the first round, which, I mean,
Or
I guess kind of include me in that, but I still think you're crazy. You're still cute, but you goddamn crazy. I guess all like they
What does
say.
Luke Combs say? Beautiful, crazy.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. 10 point
Last
lead. 10 point
last
lead
thing I
now.
have last thing I have to say, are we moving on from the Hawks since you're not
Yeah.
going to talk to me anymore about them?
No,
Okay,
I
great.
have nothing that my brain can produce.
Packers are back in the news this week. Devontae Adams said that he would love to. It would be a dream to play with Derek Carr again.
I
So
think
Austin, does
that
that mean
was
that?
no, I think that was a writer's mistype because I didn't see that anywhere. I saw the article and he said, "I'm a Packer right now and we'll see what happens in the off season, but I can't speculate or I can't speak on it." I never saw anything where he mentioned it'd be a dream to play with Derek Carr.
All right. Well, let me see where I saw it, what article it was from exactly. But either way, um, Devontae Adams, upcoming free agent wide receiver, says he's a Packer now, but it'd be a dream to play with college teammate Derek Carr from Bleacher Report, might I add.
Mhm.
Um, does that mean, Austin, that Derek Carr is either going to be a Packer next season or is Devontae Adams going to be a Raider next season?
Well, neither because they're already talking about making Devonte Adams the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. Also, Derek Carr, there's no football team in Atlanta, but maybe he'll catch a good reference from Kurt Warner at the grocery store he was working at, you know, bagging bagging the groceries. Yeah, if Devonte Adams, like I said, I don't know where he said it'd be a dream to play with Derek Carr, but I think he's going to have to play with him in his dreams because Derek Carr is not going to be a starting quarterback anywhere in the NFL after this season.
You don't think that the Raiders are going to re-sign him?
No. I think Devontae would have to hop in a hot tub time machine and go back to their Fresno State days if he wanted to play with Derek Carr because the Raiders have given Derek Carr plenty of opportunity. They're probably going to have, and I don't like shitting on the Raiders. It's just easy. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a layup. It's that kid that sets himself up and he says something and it's like I feel bad, but I just can't not make the joke about it. The Raiders are a fucking joke. They're gonna have another joke season, and they're giving the NFL was like, "Hey Raiders, we're gonna give you an extra game to lose this year." They're gonna get a draft pick. They're gonna draft a quarterback. They have Mariota. They're gonna do something other than Derek Carr. I mean, Derek Carr, God bless you, right? Man of God, alongside with you, but I mean, I think you're 10 years up in that silver and black. I really do, honey.
I disagree. I think he's going to be the quarterback next year. I think the Raiders are probably going to sign him to the first ever lifetime contract because obviously they love what he does. I think he's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. It's getting closer and closer to Devontae Adams becoming silver and black instead of green and gold.
It's stayed the same. It's been plateaued because there's never been any chance.
I don't know, Austin. I think Devontae Adams to Las Vegas is not a stretch of the imagination, like you're making it
Yes, it
seem.
is.
And I think the only reason why you're saying that is because I am looking at a goddamn Devontae Adams signed poster behind you on the wall. You obviously look up to the guy, especially
Wait,
when
let
you
me
get
get.
out of bed.
Move my ring for the people. I just broke my tripod. Here it is. Not the Adams son. All right. God damn it. Ruined it. Okay, we
I
done
hope it
here.
was worth it.
I think I broke my tripod. We done here?
Wow.
I'm ready to get on some
Devontae
Thirsty
Adams.
Thursdays.
Devontae Adams to the Raiders. You heard it here first. What else
Yeah,
did we hear
yeah,
first?
yeah, Chet. You're hearing it first from the same guy that said the Atlanta Hawks are better without Trey Young. So take that as you will.
I mean, this is also the same guy that thinks Ben Simmons is an all-star. So
Yeah, when you get that ass tattoo of Ben Simmons airballing a three. in your butthole. The ball is gonna. I'm gonna put a rim or a backboard like a tramp stamp, and then your butthole is gonna be the hoop, and you're just gonna see the ball clanking off the back of the rim. That's it. That's the tattoo you're gonna get.
I'll literally be shitting bricks.
Oh wow, nice. I'll give it to him. That was
Thank you.
the most relevant and entertaining thing he said all night.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, come on. All right, Tyler.
Come on.
You good?
At least I don't have a big forehead like him.
Yeah, right. Are you good though?
Decent size, yeah.
You ready to get in some Thirsty
Go
Thursday?
Raiders. Yeah.
All right, I need some more Jack Daniels and some more entertainment from you coming right up. We got Thirsty Thursday, your boy Yo Soy, the man goddamn, and a special guest. A special guest. He's got something to talk to you about, Tyler. He was tuned in.
Uh-oh.
So he said he's got some
Uh-oh.
words for you. With that being said, I'm going to end this stream. I'm going to start up Thirsty Thursday. So stay tuned. A couple minutes. We'll be right back.